Oil companies make huge profits.
Last year, Chevron made a lot of money.
Where does it go?
My name is Gail McLaughlin, and I'm mayor of the city of Richmond. Today we're here commemorating the 3rd anniversary of the Citizens United ruling, which actually has set back the struggle against corporations because it allocates rights to corporations as people. And we in Richmond have been fighting a David versus Goliath battle against a major corporation, the Chevron Corporation here in Richmond. We have the 2nd largest refinery in California here with the Chevron refinery. And they've been polluting our democracy for years by attempting to steal our elections. And $1.2 million of Chevron money was thrown into this past election to defeat the progressives. And so we consider that a horrendous injustice. We think democracy is something that should be honored, and it's for the people, it's for the voters to make their own choices. And money should not be, big money should not be allowed to pollute our electoral system, which is what we see happening right now. So I'm here today to talk about this, the big 1%er in Richmond, which is the Chevron refinery here. This large refinery that just had a fire this past August that was, sent 15,000 people to seek treatment at local hospitals. I'm here to say that we have to stand together. We have to make sure that the community knows what they're doing, and they do it always when they support their candidates. Their funding information is in the tiny print, so we want to further educate the community to look for that tiny print and learn about our local politics and raise their voices as people and continue to say we have to get corporations out of politics and stand for a democracy of the people, by the people, and for the people.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about why overturning Citizens United is so important to us here, building on what you just heard from the mayor. Not only does Chevron pollute our air with toxic emissions from the refinery, it also pollutes our elections with a flood of toxic propaganda financed by its immense profits. In Richmond, California, every 2 years on October 1st, it's just like clockwork. The mean-spirited hit pieces against any city council candidate with a strong environmental justice platform start appearing in voters' mailboxes. I know what it feels like to have your worst photograph paired with lies and distortions about you placed on every front porch in the city about a dozen times in 5 weeks. That's election time in Richmond, when the oil giant right here in our backyard sets its wheels in motion in its biannual effort to buy our democracy. But it doesn't always work, especially over the last 10 years, thanks to the many savvy Richmond voters and the emergence of the Richmond Progressive Alliance with their strong grassroots campaigns. You heard them, and the result has been a lot of improvements in our quality of life. For example, our beautiful greenway that we walked down on our way here with the community gardens and the murals, and we've had a dramatic decrease in our violent crime. Woo! Woo! Mayor McLaughlin told you a little bit about our great successes in 2010 and some of our setbacks in 2012 when Eduardo and I were defeated, but we're still trying to get Eduardo Martinez appointed to an unexpected vacancy on our city council. Woo! But you know, 2012 also saw an unprecedented, unlimited flood of corporate money from Coca-Cola and Pepsi come into Richmond to defeat a soda tax measure that would have improved the health and well-being of our children. So now more than ever, the RPA is reaching out to all of our neighbors in Richmond and throughout the Bay Area to proclaim that it's we the people and not corporate money who will make the decisions that affect our lives. So let's get to work, and thank you all for your solidarity.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, my name is Jose Rivera. I'm a member of Occupy Richmond and also the Richmond Progressive Alliance. I'm a local Richmond resident, and I've suffered from the effects of Chevron. Chevron is not people, that's for sure. We are the people. Us right here, we are the people. Chevron is not the people. Chevron is a corporation, a greedy capitalist corporation that does not care about this community, that pollutes it, that steals money from it, that steals our resources, and also steals resources from other countries like Colombia and Ecuador and Nigeria. Chevron goes to poor communities like Richmond to exploit them. They throw away their money at people so they can shut them up, and they think we're going to just follow their rules. But we're not going to follow their rules. Groups like Occupy Richmond and the Richmond Progressive Alliance have fought hard here in Richmond against the hegemony of Chevron, against their control. We have put people like Mayor McLaughlin in the council for she could put more restrictions on Chevron, more regulations on Chevron. And you know, we had a big election that just passed where we were trying to get Marilyn Langlois and Eduardo Martinez into the city council. And Richmond Chevron again put their money against our candidates, against our people. They're against the community. They put their puppets up there like Nat Bakes, who does everything that Chevron tells them to do. They don't care about the people. They only care about corporate contributions. So Chevron is not people. We are the people. And we're going to continue to fight against companies like Chevron when they come into our communities and exploit and pollute us. The day of the explosion, I live right down the street. I seen the mushroom cloud that came over my house. I got sick over it. I'm still having respiratory problems to this day over it. So this company does not care about this community, and that's something that we need to realize, that this is a greedy entity, a greedy corporation. It is not people. Once again, this is not people. This is bullshit. We're the people. And all I have to say is power to the people. All power to the people.
How y'all doing? Are we here today to save our democracy?
Yes.
Are we here today to tell corporations that they are not people?
Yes.
Are we here today to show that money is not speech?
Yes.
This is speech, and today we're speaking the truth about reclaiming our democracy. Thank you all for being here and everything that we're doing, and I'm here to ask for your help. Global Exchange's Elect Democracy campaign is saying that we have to get money out of politics. We have to protect our democracy, and we have to tell lobbyists to get their damn feet off our congresspeople's desks.
Yes.
So today, we're going to bring our message and our petitions that I'm asking you to sign straight to Washington, D.C., and bring our message for money out, voters in, straight to Inauguration Day in Washington, D.C. Yay! We have a petition, and I am asking each one of you today to sign it, and I will hand deliver your petition in Washington, D.C. to members of Congress and sending them to our president straight on Inauguration Day to say that their job is to represent us, not corporations. Yes. So can I ask our folks, so if you see these beautiful black and orange signs that say inaugurate democracy, ask one of these great folks for a postcard petition. Sign it and give it back, and your postcard will be hand delivered in D.C. so we can protect our democracy and get corporations
So let's start off. When I say Chevron, you say guilty. Chevron. Guilty. Chevron.
Guilty.
When I say oil, you say filthy. Oil.
Filthy.
Oil.
Filthy.
When I say Chevron, you say guilty. Chevron.
Guilty.
Chevron. When I say oil, you say filthy. Oil.
Guilty.
Oil.
Filthy.
John Watson ain't Sherlock, but he'll know we're ready, because we got the power like Si Se Puede, campaigning for rights collectivamente, and harnessing la voz de la gente. Corporate injustice, you can't touch this. Protect nature's rights because abuse disgusts us. Yo, when I say Chevron, y'all say guilty. Chevron.
Guilty.
Chevron.
Guilty.
When I say oil, y'all say filthy. Oil.
Filthy.
Oil.
Filthy.
So right here, Amazon Watch, we've been working on this Clean Up Ecuador campaign. Chevron dumped 16 billion gallons of toxic wastewater into the Amazon, including the area where 30,000 indigenous and campesino people live, destroying the ecology there, and we're here to say that they need to pay up. They just, after a 19-year court case in which they fought to move the case from New York to Ecuador, they lost in Ecuador, lost a $19 billion court case. The first time that an American corporation has ever been held accountable for its abuses abroad. And we're here to, Chevron right now is refusing to pay. They are sicking its lawyers on NGOs like Amazon Watch, on its own shareholders, and we're here to say that we won't back down. We're not afraid, we're not intimidated. Justice cannot be bought, justice is not for sale. Justice is not for sale.
Thank you.
And,
Hey everybody, that was awesome. Yeah. Woo! All right, it feels really great to be here. I work for 350.org and Rising Tide North America, and we work with communities all across the board that are fighting at the front lines of the fossil fuel industry and their money. So right now, as we all know, Chevron, right here in our own backyard, made the largest corporate political donation since the Citizens United decision. And that ain't right. Boo! Thanks. So it feels really, really great to be here. I'm going to keep this pretty brief. But over the years, there's been a really beautiful resistance building in the Richmond community against Chevron. So it's really great to stand here today with you guys and take back our democracy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Jenny is here from the Global Community Monitor. Loud, loud, loud.
Thanks everybody for coming out today. My name's Denny Larson with the Global Community Monitor. We're the group that sponsored the free testing program for all the Chevron fallout. Our tests found that at least a 9 square mile area was covered in toxic soot from Chevron with some of the most carcinogenic compounds on this earth. Thank you, Chevron, for raining down on us. No thank you, Chevron. No, not at all. And of course, every day, downwind of Chevron, we breathe their crap. It's not just the big fires and explosions, but every single day they are invading the homes in Richmond and the East Bay with all kinds of toxic chemicals because the Air District says they're in compliance. Do you think they're in compliance? No! So on top of the Chevrons, we have these incredibly weak-kneed environmental agencies, so-called, that are protecting Chevron instead of the people. Is that right? No! Well, despite that, despite the fact that we have to battle Chevron, we have to battle the bureaucrats who don't breathe the air down here like we do. And I'm now a resident of Richmond along with my partner and 4-year-old daughter who wanted to come because she witnessed the fire that night at her bedtime. It was a horrific experience for her. She still talks about it today. But she doesn't just call them Chevron, she calls them Stinky Chevron. But we didn't think it was safe to bring her here today. Because we know that Chevron blows up on a regular basis. They've had more serious chemical accidents and fires than any other refinery in the Bay Area. And since they had their last one on August, we're basically standing next to a ticking time bomb. Because of the lax regulation, because they want to expand and not even rebuild and include in that the crude unit that blown up twice in 5 years, we know it's going to happen again. It's a matter of time unless we stand up to them and the bureaucrats and make a big sea change. Things have got to change in a major way. And we're hoping that that's going to happen. I wanted to close with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And Dr. King said, our scientific powers have outrun our spiritual power.
That's
We
right.
have guided missiles controlled by misguided men.
Yes.
And that is what we must change. We must change the fact that technology is looked upon as something that we should rely on instead of the people. It's time to take the power back to the people and reform the system. And that's why we support Citizens United. It's a very basic right. Free speech, not money speech. Thank you very much.
Now it's a great growing movement. Please welcome Reverend Earl from Chevron Watch.
They are poisoning us. They are poisoning us. They are poisoning our children. They are poisoning our parents and our sisters and our brothers. They are poisoning the earth. They are undermining the very biological diversity upon which all life depends. We are part of an interconnected network. That network is being unraveled. And unfortunately, we are colluding with that every time we get into a car, every time we use plastic. So I don't want to spend all my time focusing on what they're doing, but I do want to say we share in this culture that we have created, even though the principal obligation remains with they who are poisoning us. They are poisoning us and they are lying about it. They are buying our legislators. They are buying our system of government. And it is time for them to stop. And it is time for us to help make them stop.
That's right.
And I want you to all remember one thing a wise rabbi said. His name was Zusel. And he said, in the life hereafter, they're not going to ask me, was I Moses? They're going to ask me, was I Zusel? Each of you can be Zusel. We can't all be Moses, but God knows we can be Zusel, and I ask you to do that from now on. Bless you all.
Thank you. So how many of you saw the news that there was a guy that drove in the carpool lane and he used his corporation papers to say he had a right to be there?
It's the anniversary of Citizens United. It's the most aggressive decision of judicial activism since the Supreme Court conferred personhood onto corporations. How did that happen? How did that happen? Well, 200 years ago, the Constitution said that there were 3/5 of a person, and those were slaves or indentured servants, and 75% of our population was slaves and indentured servants 200 years ago. So it wasn't weird. But the Civil War gave the slaves their freedom, a personhood of sorts, even though women still did not have the right to vote. Their personhood wasn't complete. In 1886, corporations got personhood, and then it got worse because they started to get Bill of Rights privileges just like human beings. 10 years later, it got even worse because separate but equal took away personhood for African Americans. 1920, women got the vote. 1955, saw integration. 1964, the Civil Rights Act. 1990, the ADA. But here, in 2013, we see voter suppression, racism, sexism, and violence against women. But corporations have unbridled power. What does that mean? The history of the U.S. is about who is and who is not a person. That's not right. That's not right. So I'm appealing that decision. I don't want to pay this fine. We need to make sure that the state is indeed denying corporate personhood, and I need your help. I need your help. We need your help to strengthen human personhood. We need your help to build the movement. We need your help to drive the changes we need to see. So we got a Facebook page. A Facebook page is Occupy the Carpool Lane. It's corny, but it works. Go to the Facebook, like that page, Occupy the Carpool Lane. Like it so we can keep in touch with you, stay in touch, and a web page will be up later this week. And thanks so much. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
told me 5 years ago that I would be standing in front of a crowd to help fight amends the Citizens United ruling, I would look at you and laugh. While I was in high school, politics was far from my mind. All I really cared about was finishing my college applications and getting on with my life. It wasn't until my mother started working for a nonprofit organization that I actually, started paying attention to the world around me. She would wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning so I can go collect signatures with her. Yeah. While I was collecting these signatures, I would hear stories of undocumented families who were separated by an unjust immigration system. How can a country claim to be the land of opportunity if you deny hardworking people a chance to obtain that opportunity? After this, I started to think, well, maybe I could speak for these people. I have a vote. Maybe politicians will listen to me. Oh, how wrong I was. I started volunteering for Common Cause about 3 years ago, and they changed my life as an activist. I'm 21 years old, and I've held meetings with politicians in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. I've marched right behind Reverend Jesse Jackson on the steps of our Capitol. And I was even fortunate enough to help my brother run for a chair in the state assembly. But I am here today to stand with you guys, to get money out of politics, to bring democracy back to the people. By amending Citizens United, we are one step closer to getting money out of politics and one step closer to getting our voice back. What do you guys say? Yeah! Thank you, Sheila.
Marty Freitas, I'm with Teamsters Local 70, and it's an honor to be here and support this movement. For those Supreme Court justices that voted for this decision, and for the Koch brothers and the likes of them, I have 2 words for them. From the industry I come from, those words are fuck you. We have to do whatever it takes to get rid of Citizens United and take the money out of politics. We need to elect politicians of principle that vote their conscience and vote for what the people want and need. So keep the movement going. Whatever the Teamsters Union can do to support it, we're going to do that. Thank you.
All right, everybody, thanks once again for coming to Richmond. In Richmond, we stand for a more equitable society. We believe the people, all people, should be in control and not the corporations who should be regulated by the people. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor.
Let's do one more chant. Money out, voters in. Money out, I can't hear you. Money out, voters in. Money out, voters in. Money out, voters in.
So Proposition 37 to label genetically modified foods lost in California by a narrow margin of 47 to 53%. Strange since 9 out of 10 Americans want their GMO food labeled. But not strange since the opposition and its donors, top biotech companies, outspent the supporters by $36 million, or 5 to 1. Supporters' top donors included such heavy hitters as Dr. Bronner's Magic Soaps. As for these biotech companies, they're really just chemical companies, and that is their diabolical play. Monsanto makes Roundup. It kills plants. They also make the plants that cannot be killed by Roundup. This allows farmers to buy and plant Monsanto's seeds, then spray the shit out of them with Monsanto's pesticides to kill other plants. The problem is these weeds evolve quickly, so farmers need a different and stronger herbicide from the chemical companies, who also sell the crops resistant to that herbicide. And then weeds become resistant to the new herbicide. They need something stronger. It's chemical inflation. This year, the USDA greenlit the use of 2,4-D resistant corn and soy from Dow. This will allow farmers to douse their fields with glyphosate or Roundup as well as 2,4-D. Now, if you haven't heard of 2,4-D for a while, it's because it's half of Agent Orange, which didn't work out so well for the Vietnamese. But this time, it's different, right? So the issue isn't banning GMO crops as many European countries. That's not American. It's just about labeling it. The consumer's right to know. We just want the same consumer protections that China and Russia have, who also label GMOs, as do these countries. But of course the U.S. doesn't, since the FDA, USDA, and Obama administration are all stuffed with Monsanto people. It's become a state-level issue, which is where the $45.6 million comes in. Because if an industry has to spend that much money to stop your right to know, they probably don't have your best interest at heart.